Malignaggi, he thought I said something bad about him when I said he couldn't knock a glass of water off the table with a running start. He thought that was negative. I told him, I said, Paulie, that's a compliment. Imagine Paulie for a second being able to punch like any of these guys. He might be the greatest fighter of all time. So, this guy's winning championships, and he can't punch. And y'all know he can't punch. And his opponents know he can't punch. And his record shows he can't punch. And he's still winning championships. That's special.
So this video is going to address the power punching perceptions. I'm using Paulie Malignaggi as the example here. As you see, there's a list of fighters. These guys are sadly considered not fan friendly because of their technical style, and people perceive them to have a lack of punching power, which is an absolute lie. These dudes can punch, and they are probably the most dangerous punchers in the sport, but just because they don't have one punch concussive knockout power, they're considered feather-fisted. There's a clear difference between these fighters and the fighters that are that of Paulie Malignaggi, somebody like Austin Trout. These are guys that they just don't have the pop on their punch to stop people. Now, as you see here, this is Paulie Malignaggi. He's fighting against Shawn Porter, who is naturally bigger. He's a much bigger fighter than Paulie Malignaggi is. So, you know, you could argue that for Paulie Malignaggi. Hey, look, you know, you don't have punching power, but, you know, this guy's also a lot bigger than you. But regardless, the guys from that list, the Rigondeaux, the Mayweathers, the B-Hops, you know, the Erislandy Laras, they have enough pop to even keep bigger fighters honest, to keep them from just coming in recklessly. And as you see, Shawn Porter, any guy that can leap from that range and not be weary of what can happen, that tells you that you don't have punch power. But this, Mayweather, you know, Ricky Hatton did the same thing. Now, granted, these two guys, they're about the same size. So, you know, it's a different story than when Shawn Porter leaps into to hit Paulie Malignaggi. But if Mayweather didn't have punch power, you know, even somebody his size, maybe a little bigger than Ricky Hatton, you know, they'd still be able to just come in undeterred and not face any consequence doing so. But as you can see here, you know, Ricky Hatton, you know, he tried to leap in the same way that Shawn Porter did, and, you know, he paid a price for it. He paid a big price for it. Shawn Porter, on the other hand, he could do that against Malignaggi because Malignaggi, he just doesn't have the pop on his punch to keep him honest. Now here's Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's fighting against Nonito Donaire. Donaire is a naturally bigger fighter than Rigo. He walks around at a higher weight, and he was considered to have concussive knockout power. And he does. He does have it, or he did have it going into this fight. But Rigo is just technically brilliant. And not only is he technically brilliant, you can see that his punches, they have effect on Nonito Donaire. This entire fight, he's standing in front of Nonito Donaire. He's there to be hit. But Donaire, he has to think before he can just attack. He can't just attack recklessly and go in there letting his hands go, because there's something mean that's coming right back at him. There's something mean that's waiting there for him when he's coming in. So, you know, and this is Rigo, who's naturally smaller than Donaire, and he's a boss in there. He's a boss in there. He's letting them know that, hey, if you want to get wild, you're going to get checked. You're going to get checked. And in this fight, towards the end of the fight, he catches Nonito with a mean shot, and it just, from there, it's a problem. It's a problem. So you can't say that Rigo doesn't have punching power. This dude is, look, he's cracking people. He has punching power. And here's Andre Ward. You know, he's going up against Edwin Rodriguez. This is coming off a layoff, and Edwin Rodriguez is a wild, heavy puncher. He's a wild puncher. He throws heavy shots, and he's very unorthodox, but he's a brawler. He likes to throw bombs. That's what he likes to do. And as you can see here, he comes in wild. He wants to bully around Andre Ward. He wants to let Andre Ward know, I'm gonna come in recklessly. I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna do whatever I want to you. Look, here he comes again. Yep, I'm just come in. You don't have nothing for me. But here, Andre Ward, this is very important, and I'm gonna highlight why, because just now Andre Ward just showed you something. Now you see Rodriguez is trying to establish that he's the stronger fighter. But Andre Ward subtly shows you, nope. You see that right there? When Andre Ward, they're in the clinch, he walks him back. Rodriguez tries to stop. You see his leg extend. He's trying to stop Ward from walking him back. And Ward, he doesn't care. He's going to keep walking you back. That shows Andre Ward's strength. And that tells Edwin Rodriguez, hey, look, you're not going to bully me around. I'm just as strong as you, if not stronger. You see he catches him with a shot right there. But what I want to highlight from this fight, Ward's ability to jab. His jab is very stiff. He has a strong, stiff jab. He puts everything on it, and it keeps Rodriguez honest. Because even just that jab, having the strength to snap his head back with that jab, that just lets you know that the right hand is going to be a little meaner. The right hand, the left hook, those power punches they're going to have more on them than just that jab. Now, Malignaggi, he has a great jab. He has a very technical jab. He has some zip on it, but he just doesn't have any power on it. So other fighters, he can't keep guys at bay. He can't keep guys honest with his jab. Here's Sullivan Barrera. He's considered a puncher at 175. Ward just went up to 175. Now he catches him when he's off balance, a little equilibrium shot, but he was pretty much out of position. So Ward, he's still able to keep this guy at bay. He's still able to make him think before he comes in and throws any wild punches. And Ward, he kept a puncher in check the entire fight because he let him know from the jump, I got power. That's what I have. Now, here's Paulie Malignaggi. He's fighting Miguel Cotto. This is back when they fought at 140. Now, Cotto is a naturally bigger guy than Paulie Malignaggi, but at the time when they fought at this weight class, they both were in their primes. This was when they both were on the come up. So you see Paulie catching him with some shots, catching him with a nice flurry, but he just has nothing on it. Whereas Cotto, he took that flurry of punches and he still came forward. He could still walk in, undeterred. Paulie's getting up, he's going right back to it. Here comes Cotto. He don't care. He's just gonna walk through whatever it is. Doesn't even matter. Stiff jab from Cotto, little jab from Paulie. There's a nice jab right there. Got zip on it, but it's just he's tapping him it's a nice flurry, it's a nice combo from Paulie, but again, there's no weight behind it. They're not heavy. He just doesn't have the heavy hands that could really keep somebody at bay, that could really keep them honest and prevent them from just coming in recklessly. And here's Cotto, he's just walking him down. Cotto's just coming forward.
Cotto finding openings with his combinations and batters to the body. That rocked Malignaggi. A little bit of blood from the cut again now.
Cotto is just coming on now with no respect at all. Cotto is just coming on now with no respect at all.
He just says there's no respect. There's no respect whatsoever. Look, Cotto coming in wild with his hands down. He's throwing some wide punches. He's getting a little reckless, but it doesn't matter.
Cotto is just coming on now with no respect at all.
Now here's Rigo, notoriously criticized for not having punch power, for not being able to finish fighters, for whatever the reason. He's perceived as not fan friendly. This Japanese dude that he's fighting right now, he normally fights at 126, so that lets you know he's fighting somebody who's naturally bigger than him already, because the dude came down from 126 to fight Rigo. He dropped Rigo twice in the 7th round. So Rigo hit the canvas twice in the 7th round against this naturally bigger foe. But here he is later on in the fight. This is like round 10 or round 11. And he's keeping this dude at bay. This dude, Rigo's standing right in front of him. And he's hitting him. This dude he's not coming in recklessly. He's not trying to get in a firefight with Rigo. He's not trying to trade. He's not trying to force Rigo to fight or pressure him or make him throw his hands. Rigo over here walking him down. Rigo walking him down, letting him know it's good. Look at this dude. You're telling me that Guillermo Rigondeaux doesn't have punching power? You're telling me that guy can't punch? Look at the damage that he causes. He's one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport. Here's Mayweather Pacquiao. Yup, established that right hand early. You have to let them know that if you're gonna come in, it's gonna be problems. It's hot when you try to roll in there and get reckless. Look, take a right hand. Be careful, you see? Now, what Pacquiao, and maybe he knew this, but he stuns Mayweather with a left hand later in this 4th round, but this punch right here, but he caught him with the left hand earlier in that segment right here. That hurt Mayweather. If it didn't hurt him, it buzzed him. He buzzed Mayweather with that left hand. But because Mayweather had already established his power early, Pacquiao couldn't capitalize off that moment. He couldn't, rush in. That power kept him in check. But again, this is just a list of all these great fighters that are perceived as not having punch power, but it's not true. It's that the guys that they fight, they want to survive. They want to go the distance. They don't want to look to win. Once they find out that they're in tough, once they find out that these dudes punch hard, they're less willing to take risks. Unless they're like Ricky Hatton, who want to go all out and go for broke and try and win. They're just looking to make it 12. They're just looking to go the distance. They're looking to keep whatever dignity intact. These dudes punch. They're vicious. They're vicious.